Hello guys. I am Youssef from ScubaDivingPassionate.com. Today's video is about the most 10 dangerous underwater animals that any diver is afraid of. Before we start, push the like button and let's dive in. There are many wondrous creatures in the sea whom you need to be wary of. Better yet, know where to run and what to do in case of injury or a fish bite. I have collected useful information about dangerous underwater creatures' marine life. Remember first aid measures and be careful with them. You can check the link to my full article for more dangerous animals and security measures in the description. Jellyfish air creatures are incredibly dangerous. Their stinging cells contain poison. The most dangerous jellyfish you can meet on the beach. A yellow round jellyfish box and a Portuguese boat of beautiful blue-violet color. Sea fleas. However, fleas bite very rarely, but the consequences of bites appear immediately. Miniature insects can cause unpleasant rashes and irritations. All fleas bite both females and males. But from the bites of males, only irritation and itching will remain, and the consequences of bites of females are more serious. These fleas stick to a person and drink blood, so the bite can become inflamed and fester if the body of the insect remains in it. On fleas, you can run along the surf line in seaweed thrown out by the storm. And yet a large colony can make quiet sounds. Do you hear a barely noticeable howl on a wild beach? Then it's better not to walk barefoot in the sand. Bearded fireworm. Despite the creepy name, they look very pretty. A bright orange caterpillar with fluffy white bristles. In size, it can reach 40 centimeters, but usually about 10 centimeters. Some wildlife lovers find it difficult to restrain themselves from grabbing a handsome man in their arms. In no case can this be done. The worm instantly parted with its bristles, they fly apart in the water and pierce directly into the hands. And thorns capsules with poison-containing neurotoxin. The skin turns red, swells, dizziness and nausea begin. Sea urchins. Walking along the water's edge, you can easily step on a sea urchin lurking in the stones. The main danger is sharp needles up to 30 centimeters long. If one of them cries out in the leg, it can ruin the vacation. The foot swells, the temperature rises, the wound festers. Lionfish. A beautiful striped creature with large fins, inside which dangerous poison is hidden. You can meet the fish during diving. She lives near coral reefs, in shallow water. It is quite possible to observe her from afar. She does not attack herself. But if you disturb the lionfish, then it will release its fin spikes with poison. It will hurt, fainting, and even muscle paralysis are possible. Sea snakes. Snakes living in water produce more toxic poison than their earthly counterparts. The good news is that when bitten, very little such poison is released to seriously harm a person. Only 2 species of sea snakes are deadly dangerous. But meeting with the safest of them cannot be called pleasant. The bite will hurt, tumors, swelling, allergies, weakness are possible. Animals do not attack in water and try to hide as soon as possible. But if the snake was thrown onto the land, it's definitely not worth touching it. Common stingaree. Most of the time the animals spend motionless, so they cannot be seen in the sand. But if you disturb the stingray, it will have to sting. Feel the pain, dizziness, weakness. Worry should be if the stingaree is wounded in the chest or abdomen. If the stingray has stung in a leg or arm, then there is no danger to life. The main thing is to properly treat the wound. Anemones. Do you think these are beautiful flowers underwater? No, these are living creatures. Sea anemones from the order of sea vomiting. Outwardly, they look like ordinary grass, only the colors are brighter and the leaves are fatter. They grow in colonies off the coast, in stones. Most sea anemones are safe, poisonous are activated by September. If you touch some poisonous species of sea anemones, part of the tentacle comes off and remains on the skin. The place of contact hurts as if burned. Fire coral. Despite its name, the fire coral is a real animal. In fact, divers while diving quite often touch the fire corals. Upon contact, a person feels a burning pain caused by a toxic discharge, which is located on the coral. In rare cases, poison can cause serious health consequences. Barracuda's fish. Rumors are circulating about her as a bloodthirsty killer, but she is most frightening in her appearance. Their jaws inspire fear, but having met these fish, you are unlikely to be attacked by them. They attack the victim mainly in troubled waters. Their jaws are dangerous, but mostly they do not touch people. All attacks, and their units, occurred when the fish were confused in the muddy water of people, and they took the limbs of divers for fish. So, guys, those are the most dangerous underwater animals. Be careful when swimming or diving in the sea. After all, Here you can meet the most dangerous marine animals, inhabitants of the underwater depths. Don't forget to read the full article on scubadivingpassionate.com. Click the link on the first comment or in the description. If you already had a story about meeting a dangerous marine animal, tell me in the comments below so we can share our stories.
Spear fisherman Gilbert Espat was the victim of a vicious barracuda attack while he was out on a reef in Belize. It had begun like any other fishing trip. At around 6 a.m, Espat and some of his friends were at the Esmeralda dive site just outside the reef. At one point, he noticed a 4-foot barracuda. Espat hit it once with his spear gun and repositioned himself for a second shot as he saw the fish going down. He was getting ready to fire the gun, but then the barracuda jolted towards Espat's face. The man reacted quickly and covered his head with his right arm. He then felt 2 bites tearing through his wetsuit and into his limb. Espat managed to swim to the boat, where his friends helped tend to his wounds. The fisherman arrived at the hospital with 4 massive lacerations in his biceps and triceps. He required sutures on 3 layers of tissue to fix the damage. Nevertheless, the doctors told Espat he'd been fortunate. The barracuda had missed major arteries in his arm, which could have caused more serious blood loss.